This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Veifa Ave Access Road launched with an MOU signing. Medan Province to tap into downstream processing. And Parliament to amend Provincial Health Authority Act of 2007. A very good evening. This is National Emtv News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. Good news for 20,000 people from West Mekeo area in the Kariku district of the Central Province. In the past, the villagers risked their lives and safety when traveling the old Veifa Inawi Road, which saw them harassed by Inawi youths when crossing over waist-deep water during the rainy seasons. Thanks to the initiative of Central Governor Rufina Peter, the villagers can now look forward to the new Veifa Ave Access Road, which was launched with an MOU signing by the Governor Rufina Peter. The 6 impacted villages of Ave, Veifa Rarai, Amo Amo and Nanu Ifau rolled out the traditional welcome to welcome the Central Governor Rufina Peter and the Provincial Assembly members to show their deep gratitude. Solase Aitsi, a mother who lives in Ave village beside the Hiritano Highway, shed tears of joy.
Mama sister, all mama blow me. Now look at road. Also I come bilung kam, buai kam yan. Lo here, Miss I give also I come lo wara, me give him wara. Now all I drink na kissing PMB lo here na all go. Now you come open road blow.
Under the stewardship of Central Governor Rufina Peter, the 25-kilometer stretch of road will cut a course deep into the hinterlands of West Mekeo. Speaking during the launch, the governor thanked those chiefs and people who gave up their land for the intervention of road access and had this message for the people.
You have to wake up, do what you need to do. Men, you have to do your responsibility. Women and children who are in school, study hard. Times are changing. Things will never be the same. Every one of us will have to play our part to make sure that Central Province is positioned and ready when the changes happen. We must not be caught by surprise.
The new Veifa Access Road complements the Marapiroso's Connect PNG program, a vision of the Marapiroso government, the governor calling on the Works Minister Solan Merisim for his assistance along with the Works Department.
Provincial government through the Department of Works have allocated funds. In November of last year, I was told I have 8 million. I gave my provincial roads and I said, who should work on them? I've waited until this time. I cannot sit and wait. I have to move with what I have. For national government to come on board and do their part. The Mona Highway, the roads, the money is still sitting there. I have done my part. I've sat with Minister for Works. I've sat with the Secretary, the Deputy Secretary who is responsible for the operations. What else am I going to do?
Despite the lack of funds and assistance, Governor Peter is pressing on with priority projects, and with the new Veifa's Access Road, the 6 impacted villages that run deep into the hinterlands of West Mekeo will now have access to a 25-kilometer new road that will enable safer passage for the local people to the Hiritano Highway. As part of the national government's initiative to move on to downstream processing of natural resources, Medan Governor Ramsey Pariwa is committed to downstream processing of agriculture and livestock production. Once all necessary infrastructures are in place, the province will soon begin producing poultry, piggery and cattle products. The province is also the 3rd largest supplier of copra, hence it will move towards the downstream processing of different products of the crop.
Speaking to the people of Murukanam in Sumkar district of Medan, Medan Provincial Livestock Officer Paul Hubub highlighted the huge plans Medan provincial government has for agriculture in the province. He encouraged the people of Murukanam and other neighboring villages in the project areas to take part in the businesses once the projects kick off.
How by organizing new players go inside law. All cooperatives, come up in all cluster groups. Inside our cluster group, you come up in cooperative. Now you participate inside this kind of development like come up. Time people identify more cooperative play finish. People by look how building more capacity play through no training. This law kind capacity play by helping you by participate inside law. This law kind development like come up inside the province play you.
All these projects will be carried out and managed by the Department of Agriculture and Livestock through the Livestock Department Corporation and Medan Development Corporation, the business arm of the Medan provincial government. The projects are expected to start once an MOU is signed between the Department of Agriculture and Livestock and the Medan provincial government.
This project he identified finish inside the development plan, name step inside 2 inside the budget law. Government blame me now. So becomes an lawyer, mixing press administration, come on team law. Governor, lawyer will must talk kill and plus something and by come up.
Natasha Ovoy, National MTV News.
Health Minister Dr. Tom Lino is anticipated to table in Parliament 12 important amendments to the Provincial Health Authorities Act of 2007. The amendments are currently before Cabinet for endorsement.
These important amendments are intended to improve internal reporting by the board and CEOs of respective provincial health authorities or PHAs, to encourage social accountability through public complaints mechanism and to align the operations of respective PHAs with the National Health Plan. According to Minister Tom Lino's statement, current internal challenges of respective PHAs are critical and impede the efficient health services that Papua New Guineans are entitled to. The PHA Act currently is unable to address ongoing issues of negligence, inconsistent organizational structures, lack of reporting, coordination and performance, and to fully implement the National Health Plan and its service standards. Minister Lino said through the statement that each of these areas will be clarified through the amendments. Meantime, Minister Tom Lino has urged all governors and provincial administrators to work with CEOs of respective provincial health authorities in the provinces whose board terms have expired and immediately process nominations to his office for cabinet approval. Lindy Suharupa, National MTV News.
National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National MTV News. More than 300 people living in Yogi village, situated at Alice River in the Northlight district of Western Province, now have access to clean water. The water catchment project, officially opened on Friday, is aimed at improving the lives of the villagers. This will help the villagers to fetch water right at their doorstep to drink, cook and wash.
Villagers welcomed officers from Okteri Development Foundation, or OTDF, and expressed their gratitude for such water catchment project delivered to them. OTDF supported the project with 8 water tanks, supplying 44,000 litres of water through more than 10 gravity-fed taps installed at the village. Chief Executive Officer Havini Vaira said working in partnership is a way forward for change.
We need that to happen. OTDF cannot do it on its own. Okteri can make him yet. No, I need him government, I need him church, I need him youths, I need him community law. Come work now, holy man want them. Then we can see such things happen in our community. This is the beauty of partnership. And OTDF is here because you are here. And we want to work in partnership with you.
A woman leader from the Waitri Trust region, Anako Worot, said this is a vital project that the people were in dire need of.
Thank you very much, OTDF and our local trust board for approving this project, water catchment to establish here in the village. It's a big, before when we were drinking at well water, it was plenty of challenges were coming up, like we have diarrhea, dysentery or whatever. But with this water catchment put in the villages, we will benefit.
Members of the community have been encouraged to take care of the water tanks so that people can continue to access clean drinking water. The project was initiated and fully funded by the Trust Administration through Yogi Village Development Funds at a cost of over 200,000 kina. Natasha Ovoy, National, Emtv News.
With ongoing illegal activities taking place at Gordon's main market, bus stop is in Port Moresby. NCD Governor Powes Pakop is planning to convert the Gordon's police barracks into a major transport hub. He's set to build a new police barracks in another location and move the policemen and women with their families out of the Gordon's police barracks.
Gordon's is a business hub and main transit point for commuters because of its location in the city, with people from all over the city and central province flocking there daily. Governor Pakop says one of his plans for the city is to convert Gordon's police barracks into a proper transport hub. He highlighted that currently the place is not properly organized to cater for all the PMV buses, taxi and the population.
I want the entire barracks to move out because here we have our plan for the city is to convert this place into a major transport hub. Everybody comes here and goes there and comes here. So it's a major transport hub. That's why we have so many commotion here. They blame the market, but actually it's because everybody come and commute here, change buses and change taxi and everything happens here. So as you all can see, the place is not properly organized to accommodate all these bus, transport, transfer, taxis and so on, PMVs. So this is the ideal place for us to have this transport terminal here, exchange.
There are about 180 families residing at Gordon's Police Barracks, and Governor is ready to move out 40 families to a new police barracks.
We are ready to build a new barracks for them or accommodation for them. So the police can move out, they go to a better, clean, secured environment. Here we convert it into what the city needs, and that is a major transport hub.
However, Governor Pakop is waiting for Police Commissioner and Minister for Internal Security to make a decision on that before he implements his plan.
Police is a national function, so I can't make the decision. It's the Internal Security Minister and the Police Commissioner. They make decision. They say, yes, Governor, go. I'm ready to rock and roll because I want it to happen tomorrow, not later tomorrow.
He also stated that police stations in the cities need maintenance as they are not in good condition to operate. Estagane, National Emtv News.
NCD Governor Powes Pakop is adamant to change the entire culture of Morocco to allow the corporate businesses to operate 24 hours a day with security cameras to be installed. He confirmed that they will have a stakeholders meeting on Monday to start opening the shops at night as part of the Morocco Precinct transformation project. This was said following the banning of selling and buying of betel nut in and around Morocco Precinct.
We will set up some weekend maybe SME or activities or some entertainment activities or getting people to come and basking there, Everybody is welcome to come there, of course. It's a public place, but it's not going to be controlled by betel nut vendors and chewers and speeders or litter bags or petty criminals. We are going to work towards making it a hub day and night. We put the lights there, so we are going to encourage that place to open up. Ideally, open up in the night right to the morning. So people can be employed during the day and during the night.
You're watching National MTV News. We'll bring you more stories after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National MTV News. Moving to overseas news now. As the world looks for clean and reliable energy, Japan is sitting on an untapped green energy gold mine.
This town in southern Japan is a rather alien place. There's steam coming out of everywhere thanks to a hotbed of geothermal activity underneath. Japan has the third highest geothermal reserves, and there's big plans of what to do with it. More than 10% of Japan's energy could come from geothermal power, but at the moment it creates just a fraction of that, less than 1%. This businessman wants to change that. He earned his wealth with a supermarket franchise. Now he's spending his own cash to build geothermal plants that he says will produce clean, green energy.
It's a stable power source 24 hours a day, and it has the lowest carbon dioxide emissions among renewable energies.
Overcoming opposition from onsens is a big hurdle. The natural spas are culturally significant and a huge tourism drawcard. In places like Kusatsu, support for onsens has killed off geothermal projects.
If the hot springs in Kusatsu stop running, it'll be the end of everything for us. We would be finished. Kusatsu exists because of onsen, so we plan to refuse drilling as much as possible.
When geothermal development started, there was a great deal of concern because the amount of water taken by the geothermal power was greater than the hot springs. If you balance it well, it's not a problem. Conventional onsen are beginning to understand this.
Geothermal advocates want the two to coexist. They hope if the latest projects are a success, it'll provide a proof of concept. Enthusiasm will rise, and Japan may once again become a geothermal powerhouse.
Interim alcohol restrictions will expire soon in Alice Springs, with frontline services and police among those calling for an extension.
A community waiting for answers. The NT government set to decide in coming weeks if interim alcohol restrictions will continue in Alice Springs.
We haven't made any final decisions.
Introduced earlier this year to address soaring crime, the emergency measures ban takeaway alcohol on certain days and limit bottle shop trading hours. But they're set to lapse at the end of July. Police are calling for the rules to continue, claiming crime is at its lowest levels in 4 years. But others warn it's not a silver bullet.
Until we understand that we have an alcohol problem in the Northern Territory, things are going to remain the same.
Multiple allies of the United States have voiced concerns over the use of cluster bombs in Ukraine as the US is set to supply Ukraine.
The White House will supply the controversial weapon to help cover a shortfall of artillery. Spain and Canada have criticised the move. The British Prime Minister has vowed to continue supporting Ukraine despite discouraging the use of the weapon.
The UK is signatory to a convention which prohibits the production or use of cluster munitions and discourages their use. We will continue to do our part to support Ukraine against Russia's illegal and unprovoked invasion.
Meanwhile, Ukraine's president has returned from a visit to Turkey with 5 Ukrainian commanders taken prisoner by Russia after the siege of Mariupol. The 5 had been transferred to Turkey under a prisoner swap deal and were meant to stay there until the war ends, but have now returned home to Ukraine as heroes. Russia has denounced the release of the commanders, saying Turkey has violated the prisoner exchange terms.
Another deadly Russian airstrike on civilians in Ukraine's east. Ukrainian authorities say at least 8 people have been killed.
Ukraine is reeling from another deadly attack on an urban area. This happened in Liman, a small city in the country's northeast. Local authorities say that Russian rockets rained down on a shop, on vehicles, and it was devastating for the people who were surrounding those blasts. Images that were released by the Donetsk prosecutors, they showed people who appear to have been blown up riding their bikes on a Saturday morning. Other people appear to have been struck while walking home from the shops. And there really is only so much air defences can do, especially close to Russian positions. And there can sometimes be very little notice for people to get into shelters as well. This all happened on the 500th day of Russia's all-out war here in Ukraine. And to mark the occasion, President Zelensky's visited Snake Island. Now, you might remember Snake Island because it's that rocky island in the Black Sea that the Russians managed to take early on in the war. And it really became a symbol of resistance because the Ukrainians stationed on the island refused a Russian warship's demands to surrender, telling them over the radio in quite colourful language where they could go. So Ukraine ultimately won that back, and President Zelensky's gone there to honour the lives that were lost. Now, there are still big pushes from Ukraine along the front line, including some progress at Bakhmut, but there are no major breakthroughs. Of course, the US has recently announced a helping hand of sorts, another military aid package, including controversial cluster bombs, which are banned by many countries, including Australia. And weapon supplies to Ukraine will, of course, be a major focus of that NATO summit coming up in Lithuania this week, especially high-tech and long-range weapons, because Ukraine says without them, it can only take this counter-offensive so far.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he does not know who's been referred for prosecution in a report into the unlawful robo-debt scheme.
A sealed section of the report refers a number of unnamed people to the Australian Federal Police and the new National Anti-Corruption Commission. Anthony Albanese says he respects the Commissioner's decision to withhold the names to prevent political interference.
My government is an orderly, considered government that makes decisions based upon proper advice, and we are doing that on this occasion as well.
You're watching National Emtv News. Trukai Sports is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Momase Regional Youth Games was officially launched in Medan and will take place from the 25th to the 30th of September this year. The event is an initiative of the National Youth Development Authority in partnership with the PNG Sports Foundation and the Department of Community Development.
Medan will now look forward to hosting youths from other 25 districts from within the province and the Momase region as well. National Youth Development Authority Director General Joe Itaki said this will create a pathway to expose raw talents in the rural areas. He said during the games there will be scouts attending to source out potential athletes. Medan Provincial Administrator Frank Lau said the youths are the future of this country. Hence, it is very important to support such initiatives that empower youths. Medan Governor Ramsey Pariwa and Provincial Administrator gave their support for the event, which now led the formal signing of the official launching of the coming event. The games will include soccer, volleyball, basketball, and rugby nines. Natasha Ovoy, Trukai Sports.
In netball, the Vaipunama claims top spot on the ladder across the board in the PNG mixed and men's netball competition.
Being reigning champions in the last 3 seasons, the Vaipunama takes lead in both the mixed and men's competitions. PNG Mixed and Men's Netball Junior President Micah Vaira says by the look of things, the team will defend their reign for this season. This is the third week of competitions for this season for the mixed and men's netball tournament, and the Vaipunamas have yet to lose a competition. Meanwhile, in the Premier Mixed Netball competitions, the Golden Dragons are right behind the Vaipunamas on the ladder. Natasha Ovoy, Chukai Sports.
In football, the National Youth League is well into its round 4 of competitions. Here is an update of the competition in the Southern Conference.
Going strong are young competitors as the battle is still on between 6 clubs. In today's competition, the Kempa FC beat South's Aporo 5 points to 2. Game 2 saw Hekari Academy FC draw with Central Amoana FC at 1 point. Ending with another draw is the battle between Port Moresby Strikers FC and the FC Genesis at 2 points. Meanwhile, in the Premier League, the Hekari FC beat the Gulf Komara FC 4-0 in yesterday's game. Natasha Ovoy, Chukai Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
You're watching Chukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports now, the Adelaide Thunderbirds have been crowned the 2023 Super Netball Champions.
Thunderbirds edging out the New South Wales Swifts 60 goals to 59 in extra time in Melbourne after the scores were locked 54 all at full time. Adelaide shooter and English import Eleanor Cardwell starred and was named MVP. It's the Thunderbirds' first title in a decade.
I still can't believe it's happened, but we're just so stoked for everyone else, for the Pink Army that have travelled over to Melbourne and everyone else back in SA. We've done it and I can't believe it.
England's women's cricket team have clinched a crucial match against Australia in the multi-format Ashes.
Winning the final T20 International by 5 wickets under the DLS method. A 46-run knock from Alice Capsey helped the hosts reach the total with 4 balls remaining. Needing a win to retain the trophy, Australia's Elise Perry led the way with 34 runs off 25 balls as Australia set the hosts a target of 7 for 155. England responded with 5 for 121 in the rain-shortened run chase.
England's men's cricket team needs 224 runs to win the 3rd Ashes Test match.
Most of day 3 was lost to rain. Travis Head's 77 helped Australia reach 224. Chasing 251 for victory, England is none for 27 at stumps, with openers Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett unbeaten on 9 and 18 respectively. Australia leads the match series 2-0.
In tennis, Chris O'Connell has been knocked out of Wimbledon, leaving no more Australians in the singles draw.
The 29-year-old lost to American Christopher Eubanks in straight sets. World number 1 Carlos Alcaraz held off 25th seed Nicolas Jarry in a 4-set thriller to move into the last 16. In the women's 2nd seed and Australian Open champion Aryna Sabalenka progressed to the 4th round.
And that ends Chukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby, mostly cloudy, brief showers. Daru, cloudy with squally rain showers tonight. Kerema, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Alatau, cloudy with overnight rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Popondetta, cloudy periods with overnight rain showers and possible thunderstorm. In the Momase region, Lay, cloudy periods with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Medan, few showers and possible thunderstorm tonight, then cloudy. Wewak and Vanimo cloudy with overnight rain showers at times and possible thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, overnight rain showers at times and possible thunderstorm. Kavieng and Kimbe, cloudy periods with overnight showers and thunderstorm. Kokopo and Rabaul, rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Buka, cloudy with occasional showers tonight with possible thunderstorm. And in the Highlands region, all centers cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm, then morning fog. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, to Kerema to Yule Island, to Port Moresby to Hood Point, to Samurai Islands, seas 2.5 to 3.5 meters. Waters of Samurai Islands to eastern and western Milne Bay Islands to Cape Vogel, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters north of Cape Vogel to Ewan Gulf to Finschhafen, seas 2 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through VTS Dampier Straits to CRC and Long Island, to Karkar Island and Manam Islands, seas 2.5 to 3.5 meters. Waters of West Karkar to Manam Islands, to Bogia, to Wewak, to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 1 to 1.5 meters. Waters of New Britain to New Ireland, seas 1 to 2 meters. And waters of Bougainville, seas 2 to 3 meters. And looking at the ocean forecast, Coral Sea, seas rough to very rough with high seas of southeast winds of 30 to 48 knots. Solomon Sea, seas moderate to rough, southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas moderate to patches very rough, southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas slight to moderate with patches rough, east to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And before we go, good news to the people of Moresby South and the nation's capital that a police station was opened today for the people of Koki. The police station is situated just next to the bus stop and will now help in curbing law and order issues in Koki.
The police station was formerly used by the community policing. Today, at the official opening of the station, the police station commander for Badili, Inspector Albert Jerry, said this will now ease people from going to Badili and town police stations to lay complaints.
Infrastructure of police and me staff, me feeling was police work by easy look at him all Manberry must be.
A police car was also issued to the station to assist the officers who will be stationed at the new station. Member for Moresby South, Justin Tachenko, also presented a laptop to police to help them with their work. MP Tachenko challenged the people to take care of the property and be responsible people.
That rule our country, follow them, abide by them, respect them, and then we will have a better place to live in now into the.
A strong warning was given to the people of Koki by Matsup Silvasika to change their attitude. He said police will be in full force to monitor the area.
Everybody needs freedom and respect. I want to see respect and freedom. Freedom, the glory of the city, nothing else.
6 police officers will be stationed at the station and will be on rotation. The station was officially opened by Matsup Silvasika, NCD Governor Poes Pakop, Mosby South MP Justin Tachenko, and Minister for Internal Security Peter Siamalili Jr. Cynthia Maku, National Emtv News.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 9th of July 2023. From all of us here, have a safe weekend, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.